Oh, 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 deep in my heart, yes, I do believe, yes, and we shall overcome someday. Ooh. Oh, hello, everybody. Sirwalterj Jones Show. I'm here this evening edition. Hey, there. How y'all is? Come on in. Water's fine. It's a Monday. For those of you who listen to my show sometimes, I do what's called a generational wealth for African Americans on a Monday. It's usually at 3 o'clock, but I've been derelict to the duty. Good to see you there, Charlie. Who was that? Charles Dixon, Monica, and Bernie Scott, and Keisha, and Tobias, and man, Amber Rogers, Beatrice, and Betty, and Kenny, and Keisha Knox, and a whole bunch of y'all are here. Antoine, whole bunch of y'all. Bernie. Hey, let's get this ball a crack-a-lackin', shall we? If you're on YouTube, you're looking at the premiere. I know some of y'all on YouTube say, hey, why can't I need to join in on the live show? Well, you got to go over to Facebook, and we do the lives over there, and then we can premiere it over there on YouTube, and so, you know, come on over here. Come on over to my place. But if you're watching on YouTube right now, hey, hit the share button right now, because it's gonna be good. Subscribe, hit the bell over there. The bell is, I don't even know where the bell is. It's over there somewhere. Hit that bell and you get all of my notifications, because some of y'all don't get my notifications. You just, because you don't hit the bell. Hit the bell. All right? Okay, eat the cake, Eddie Mae. Antoine. Hey, Boycott. Can I say something to you African American black folks who are colored? Boycott. You can't really boycott today. Y'all ain't that good at boycotting. Y'all need to go back to a class, the boycott class, because y'all not that good at it. You really need to get that together, because Antoine, unfortunately, we are a divided nation. Even though we spend a whole bunch of money come into our neighborhoods, and it comes in and go right out. It don't circle in our neighborhoods the way, of course, the whites, of course, and the Asians, they circle around. The Jews, it circles around. Hispanics, it circles around. But if you hand Pookie $1, Pookie walks out of the neighborhood and go down there to the Asian place. So it don't circle. Kendrick Scales, I'm about to catch you up. He said, what's happening? Yeah, so because it doesn't stay in our neighborhoods that long, what happens is that it shows who we are as a family. You see, this is why the churches are so divided today, because it's difficult for us to come together and build a one conglomerate, and we all come together with our gifts. It's difficult to do that. Good to see you, Victoria. So what I want to do is talk about the boycott that has been asked of you all for the Word Network because of a mishap that happened, a misunderstanding. No, it wasn't a misunderstanding. It was purposely done by a white man who owns the network to a brother of ours. It's so disheartening. Unfortunately, white people can do things to us today because we're too infiltrated into what they have established. Y'all like, what you talking about? Okay. I'm going to say some controversial things here today, and I don't care because I'm Sirwalterj Jones. You see, segregation. Y'all know what segregation is? All right. Segregation and desegregation. There's pros and cons to both, all right? We were not allowed to drink, of course, from the waterfalls or in these stores, all right? The faucets of the whites and going and use their restrooms and eat at their lunch counters and things like that. We couldn't stay in their hotels. We couldn't go to their schools. We couldn't even worship in their churches. I mean, we just couldn't do anything, all right? All right, so we had to create our own. And we were doing good at that. We were doing fine at that with, I don't know why I just got black and dark and just dark, okay? We were doing fine with that, with our black institutions, the HBCUs, and then we started, of course, building churches, and then we built Black Wall Street. It wasn't, the one down there in Tulsa, Oklahoma was not the only one. That's just the one you hear about because white folks burned it down. And a lot of times when the lynching started by whites feeling threatened. See, when their finances is threatened, that's when they come after you. You understand? When their finances is threatened and when jealousy happens, that's when they come after you. And this is the reason why I got burned down. All right, so we established our own. What y'all were crying for is to be, desegregation and trying to be with white folks and get white folks stuff and get, do what white folks do and be among them and blah, blah, blah. We all holding hands, singing Kumbaya and we shall overcome. Don't worry about that. We're with them now. That has messed up the black community because we don't know how to acclimate. We don't know how to be a part of who we are at the same time be with white folks. All right, so it messed us up, and what it did was it broke down the whole fabric of our neighborhoods, and the mom and pop stores began to fail and suffer because we left them. We walked away from them because Charlie set up a shop in our neighborhood. So we went to Charlie because Charlie could afford to cut the prices. Pookie and them and mom could not afford that. Madea couldn't afford that when she had her store. Charlie could. So we went to Charlie's store, and before you know it, we allowed the big stores to come in our neighborhoods, and so Walmarts began to come into the neighborhoods. Why do you think your leaders were trying to fight for Walmart not to come into the neighborhoods? The big box stores, because it was shutting down the mom and pops, the ones who raised you. They raised you off of that candy and and the butcher in the back, okay? They raised you and you turned on them. And so it was difficult. So now the average black neighborhood is a melting pot of Asian shops and Hispanic shops and white shops, okay? You don't see any black shops in the black neighborhood. You just don't. And it's a sad thing. What happened? This breaking up of the segregation caused a lot of that to happen because then the schools begin to tell you what to even learn in your schools. Yeah, they allowed you to study black history. Yeah, that's just to tease you a little bit. But even that was kind of there was some things written in there that were dog whistles. All right, and I was a little boy and I even understood that. I said, oh, that's a dog whistle. And they told you what you're supposed to learn about American history and how they downplayed slavery in American history in the school that I came up in. They kind of downplayed it. You understand what I'm saying? So anyway, for those of you who are asking what did the word network do, I need y'all to pay attention to the news just a little bit more. just a little bit more. All right, so I'm giving you a little history here, so let me take my time. Okay, so they want us to boycott the word network, and I'm trying to help y'all, educate y'all on the whole boycotting thing and why it's so difficult for you to not be able to boycott today. What is it? Walmart. There was a boycott Walmart plea every year. There's one on Facebook because some silly that they do. Boycott Walmart, or another one is boycott Facebook. But let's boycott Facebook. Let's shut it down and let's blah 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 because something that Zuckerberg did or something that Facebook is doing. And I think it's the most silliest thing because you're using the platform itself to boycott itself. Number one. Number two, when you boycott these businesses, now what you're doing is you biting the hands now to feed you, because African Americans are infiltrated all throughout those companies now. So because they hire so many African Americans, you're boycotting them and you think you're helping us, but you're hurting us because your auntie works there. Your daughter works there. My daughter works there. And they wanted to boycott Walmart, and I'm like, my daughter works there. You know what I'm saying? So now you don't even know how to boycott. You don't know how to do it. It's a strategic way to do it. And it was so silly because I'm like, so what they were trying to do was boycott all white products. Everything that's white, boycott. I says, really? You cannot. It is impossible to boycott all things that were made by white people, because they done made everything pretty much. And look in your house and try to find something in your house that you made as a black man, a black woman. Find something in your house that you made, all right? And then I can tell you to boycott everything white folks made. So from the time you wake up, from the sheets on the bed to the pillowcase, then the pillow and the cover and the bed, the mattress and stuff and the railing, all white folks, whether it's white folks or whether it came from Japan or made in China, it wasn't made by black folks. You understand? And you got up and put your foot on that floor, whether it was hardwood floor or carpet, white folks. Okay, and then you walked in there to the bathroom, you opened the white man's door on the white man's handle, you went in there and turned on the white man's faucet, okay, and then you took the toothpaste, white man toothpaste, Colgate, and then you took a toothbrush, white man's toothbrush, all right? And black folks do make a toothbrush and toothpaste. There are black businesses out there, believe it or not. I finally discovered who they are. But you got Colgate at your house. You understand what I'm saying? And then you brush your hair with a white man's comb, and you put white man grease in there. And come on, everything in your house, white man. So you talking about the boycott whites, black, buy all black. Well, how you buy all black? Huh? How you do that? And they monetized our inventions and put their money and name on it. Yes, they did. They did, L. I'm trying to say your name. L. Roos, Shuri. You've been here before. I never can say your name. You know what I'm saying? So you don't know how to boycott today. It's not as easy to boycott today as it was back then. Oh, our dear sister Rosa Parks decided not to give her a seat up to a white man, and it started a boycott that will go down into the annals of time. Here's the thing. Rosa Parks was not the first one to do that. She was selected. But there was another woman who did that prior to that. But she was the perfect profile for it because of her whole makeup. They said, no, let's go in with her, not the other one that did it before. Y'all understand? Some of you black folk don't know that history. All right? And so they decided to boycott the bus company, the city company, and what was that, Birmingham? Is it Birmingham, Alabama? Anyway, all right? Now, how'd they do it? You can't do it today. They had a different mindset back then. They had more black businesses that they were starting and running and operating in their neighborhoods. Go to Atlanta and you see Auburn Avenue. You need to travel down there, man. It's a great. I take my kids down there. Well, my son already live over there, but my daughter. And you see where it was all upper middle. It was middle class, almost rich. Some of them were rich. There up and down Auburn Avenue in Atlanta. And they were all black folks where Martin Luther King's father lived. All right. All that. So they were the ones who took care of the neighborhood. So it was easier for them to boycott. And so what did they do? They decided to pull their resources together and not get on that bus. And what were they doing? Some of them were walking to work, walking to school. Those who had automobiles were carpooling people in back and forth to work and school. They were using church buses to pull people back and forth. And that boycott lasted an entire year. You understand? That thing went through the spring, summer, and fall, and winter, okay? The entire year that thing went. You can't boycott that long. Not for something that is so important as getting me to work and school every day. You can't do that because you don't have the mentality. And they didn't mind walking to work or carpooling, ride sharing. They did all of that. You don't have the mental fortitude to do that. You're not together today. You are a different breed of black folks. All right? So I'm going to read you the article of the word network. But those of you who, again, are not too aware of what's going on in the world today, this picture came out. This is the picture here, all right? This is the owner of the Word Network. You see this so-called prophet here, Kirk Franklin, and of course Adell and Boomer. All right, this is where the problem is between him and him. All right, okay, that's where the problem is. It says white owner of Word Network refuses to apologize for controversial meme showing pimping of black pastors. So he sent this meme. He sent this picture. The owner sent this to Boomer. Is it Boomer? I'll get his name in a minute. Okay, and and he said that he was offended by it, and he kept taunting him in the text message. So you guys can go to Roland Martin on YouTube and you'll hear the whole interview. You can go to Larry Reed and hear his interview on how he was so offended by what this man was doing to him. His name is Kevin Adell. Kevin Adell is the owner. They got hip to our boycotts and strategized with their lawyers and fellow corporations and successfully shut them down. Come on, y'all. Gerald says, our boycott today must be different. The first thing black people need to boycott is foolishness. Foolishness. It's amazing. And it almost bankrupted the bus company of Alabama. It almost bankrupted them. They couldn't take it anymore. Yeah, and they said we gotta George Bloomer. Thank you. Who is this? Amber Rogers. So the white owner of the Word Network, and it's billed as the largest African American religious network in the world. That's how it's billed. The Word Network. Many of you watch it. Many of the Church of God in Christ convocation services are aired on the Word Network. All right, it is billed as the largest African American religious network, even though it's owned by whites, by a white man. All right, he refused to apologize for sharing a meme which depicts him pimping popular black preachers. For those of you who didn't know that. So the refusal comes amid a recent petition signed by more than 100 prominent black clergy calling a boycott of the network until he apologizes for his alleged racial insensitivity. Now, he could, even if he did apologize, it means nothing. The problem again is you can the Word Network, but you're going to also wind up boycotting the ways and means of many African Americans who work for that network. And there's a whole lot of black folks who work for the network, and that's how they bring in their bread and butter. So it's not that easy, because with the bus boycott, at least there were no. I don't think there were any black drivers of the bus boycott. I don't remember there being any black drivers. Number two, the bus was used to get people to work, so they got to work the best way they can. So it was a different beast. You understand? So we don't need the Word Network. There are other networks, religious networks on TV and on the radio that we can get, what have you. We don't need it. So this boycott should have been easy, but now that we are all infiltrated into white corporations, it's not that easy because, again, we are hurting the pockets of our African-American brothers and sisters who work for these companies. On Monday, the Detroit chapter of the National Association of Black Journalists has joined that chorus, calling for a boycott of the network, demanding that Adell meet with Detroit NABJ. All right, I'm going to go down. At the center of the allegations against Adell is Bishop George Bloomer. He's 56 years old, longtime televangelist and founder of the Bethel Family Worship Center, multicultural ministry. He's in Durham, North Carolina. All right, Bloomer alleges that in September, Adell texted a photograph, and it goes on, and Adell began to call him Tattoo. I'm talking about the character Tattoo on Fantasy Island. Tattoo, okay? The plane. He kept calling him and taunting him in the text message, and Bloomer saved the text messages and showed it to Roland Martin on the show. And again, you can go to YouTube and see what the text messages look like. And so it upset the panel that was on the Roland Martin show. The plane, yeah, Jason Shepard, the plane. Okay? He refused to apologize because That's what was in his heart. Just like there will be no MAGA apologies. They've shown their hand. That's right. That was in his heart to do this. So he can apologize. Donald Trump will never apologize for the things that he do. That's in their heart. And I did a show on racism, and I did a thing. I broke down different types of racism, whether it's right in your face or whether it's systematic racism, it's corporate racism, and then there's what's called biased. You racially, you what is the word I used yesterday? Implicit. You're implicit biased. Okay. Implicit racism, or it is something when you are part of an organization or a group of people, and you begin to see people in a different light. All right, you may worship with them, you may even work with them, but they still a nigger. You understand what I'm saying? And when white people come to me and say, "My wife is black," I'm not racist. It means absolutely freaking nothing to us. Just because you like black vagina don't mean you're not a racist. You understand what I'm saying? So white people, can you please stop telling me that your wife or your husband is black? That doesn't make you a racist. That makes us laugh. You like black penis. That don't mean you're not a racist. Do you understand what I'm saying? White folks, I'm going to need you to stop. I'm going to just need you to stop. Because everything else that you say and do on social media and in the streets tell me that you are a racist. You like our bodies. Don't mess that. I mean, it makes no sense. The slave master was sleeping with the slaves and had his favorite slave. He loved Sally Mae. The slave master loved Sally Mae. Had sex with Sally Mae every other night. But he still had slaves. He still beat them and hung them and punished them. He still was a bigoted, racist, white supremacist. You get on my nerve with that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Jason said your wife is black but wants to be white. Yeah. Y'all kill us with that stuff. But Sunday is the most segregated time. Yeah, Joe. Mm-hmm. All right. So the panel was on the Roland Martin show, and so I have a write-up here. Where is it? Where is it? And when you listen to it, you'll hear one black woman say, "Listen to Bloomer." It wasn't. She started focusing on black pastors. Look at that. Why is he selling the Bible? See, Bloomer was saying, I'm not paid by the Word Network. The Word Network don't pay me. My money's come by us selling our products, and we may sell the Bibles, that special edition Bibles and what have you, and we get a cut from the sales. But Word Network don't give us a salary. If all of the people on the Word Network pay Adell to be on the network. And so when he said that, the black woman was like, "Look, I see game." And Roland Martin was like, "Whoa, no." He kept interrupting her. No. Don't focus on that. This ain't about religion. No. This is about the business. This is about racism. This is about what this white man is doing." And the black woman was like, "No, but look at these preachers this, and you pimping and you selling Bibles and all this stuff." And so I said, "Oh, here it is. Here's the reason why we can't get nothing done." Here it is right here. Y'all got to go to the interview. I mean, it's amazing. So the write-up says this is who said this? Rogers. Let's call her Rogers. This is what happens when the people of God play in the world's system. She says, play in the world system. The church, which Bloomer represents, now, because it has been humiliated, has made this a racial financial issue. And the world is trying to call this called to boycott a spiritual and moral issue. Man, I don't think y'all seeing this. Come on, can y'all see into this? Blessings to you, Justin Delaney. Deloney, I said Delaney. Is that a gospel artist? These white girls just like chocolate. Yeah, I know. Antonia, I'm sorry. Antoine says, I saw that, and in my opinion, she's silly as all outdoors. All right. She says here, that was the juxtaposition between the panel and Bloomer. Bloomer walked out of his spiritual self and said, this right here is racial and financial. But then the economical, social panel that Roland had said, this spiritual. So it was extraordinary. She says, this is what happens when we barter our goods to a system that does not respect who we are or what we represent. And this is what happens when you throw your pearls to swine. She says, Kevin Adell is not a covenant brother. He's a businessman who saw an opening in the market and an opportunity to fill it simply as that. That's all he did. This white man saw desperate Pentecostals, black folks who love to watch each other on TV, do tithes and offerings and praise and worship and preach and do all of the black things that they do and tune up and hoop and what have you. He says, that's a market. That's a market. We can build on this right here. And so he did that and he brought it in. Now I can prove that because I worked for a radio station who's still doing that today, right here in Chicago. Owned by a white man. It was owned by his father, now it's owned by his son. And I was airing on that station a couple times a week, and all black folks were on the air around the clock. All black folk, all black engineers, producers, and people paying big money to this white man to what? Give them this sound that you would hear on your AM station. All right, and what was this sound? It was catered to an audience of about, I say that audience might have been from the ages of about 45 on up. African-American women especially, okay? They boast on reaching a couple million people citywide and statewide, and I laughed at that chart that he gave me because he was trying to sell me more time, and I was like, no, you ain't reaching 2 million people. You're not doing that. Yes, we are. I said, no, you're capable of reaching 2 million people on this map you gave me, but you're not reaching 2 million people. If that was the case, your phones would be ringing off the hook. And I've been at this station for a couple of months and my phone rang a couple times. And I talk about everything. You ain't reaching 2 million people. What you're reaching is that country bumpkin audience who love to hear that Sunday night service type of, and I heard, hey, Jesus, he's away in the water. He's a mighty battle axe. Can I get a witness? Witness for my Lord. That's what you want to hear. And that audience right there is drinking and eating that up. All right? So when you get a conscious, more of a radical renegade like myself is going deep into the root of the gospel on the show, they afraid they ain't calling. They ain't calling. Matter of fact, they complaining. Get him off the air. They want to be off the air. Get him off. He ain't tuning up. And I heard my father said, hello, walls. I don't know why them black women who are the age of 45 and up, they was loving that. I said, man, please. You are making a lot of money off of the country bumpkinness of black folks who love all that old-time gospel stuff, all right? You ain't fooling me, and I said, when this contract is over, matter of fact, I ain't waiting for the contract to be over. I'm breaking this contract and getting the heck about this station and starting my own. And then what did I do? I went over there to a black station where I had a little more freedom to say whatever I want to, and my audience grew. So I know what Bloomer went through with this Adell messology. And this is what happens when you barter our goods to a system that does not respect who we are and what we do. All right. She says, African American pastors and ministers fell into his trap because they couldn't refuse its temptation. Adell offered the African American church an opportunity to play with the big boys at a grown man's cost. In essence, we sold our soul to the company store. Sold your soul to the company store. Okay? And then the company store changed its menu, tone, inclination, and respect. Look at you, tattoo. yeah, you tattoo. I'm the pimp, and I'm pimping y'all. We were later shown that we had no stock options, no deeds, and little input. So we were in fact told as we clutched our pearls that we are not owners, but simply we are consumers. What do you produce? Absolutely nothing. War. What is it good for? Absolutely nothing. What do you own? Nothing. Where do you go to shop? Outside of your neighborhood. All right? Are you investing in your community? No. You're not even investing into yourself. And you think you can invest in your community because you're putting your money in the church. But the church is owned by the white bank. And I dare you miss a payment. I dare you miss a payment. Don't miss a payment. And this cautionary tale is being played out across the world at the black man's gasp. Oh, my Lord. Oh, my lucky stars. Revealing the dastardly deeds of the enemy and the wickedness of the weakness. That is, not wickedness, although that would have fit to weakness of the church. This debacle is embarrassing because it shows the church's inability to funnel our God-given resources into assets. All that money that y'all bringing in and giving it to the word network, it goes to the word network, all right? And it does pay some salaries, but you best believe Adell is getting this big lump sum and the salary is about this big. It shows us perpetually being the tail and not the head that we scream about in our pulpits. I am the lender and not the bother. I am the head and not the tail. Say yeah. Now do something with your flush. Okay? I've always wanted to know what a flush was. It's flesh, man. It's flesh. Okay, it shows us perpetual, where we at? God's word, and for others, those having to choose to boycott or not their anticipated livelihood. To be played out on national TV, it shows a carnality on the part of Bloomer, she's saying. His swearing on national television that we didn't need to see. Yeah, he swore on national television. Yeah, he swore. And the ridiculousness of the church peddling our spiritual wares to an often racist system for airtime. We Christians are shown to be forever out of order and out of the ordinance of God, my God, today. I promise that song popped in my head. Absolutely nothing, Joy. I'm trying to tell y'all, Joel Lucas, Joel. We claim everything, but truly own nothing. Well, yeah. Joy Harris says she's trying to find out too. We're talking about boycotting the word network. I ain't into that. The blessings of God are rich and addeth no sorrow. When God sends you, he sends the resources. Hear me, hear her. When God sends you, he sends the resources. You understand? He prepares you, and then he gives you something. He says, Moses, yes, God, what's that in your hand? It's a stick, okay? God's like, okay, this boy, Aaron, talk to him for me, will you please? Because this is going to take a while. I'm trying to free the people, and Moses can't talk. Talk to him. God said, what's in your hand? It's a stick. Okay. All right. Now, breathe, Moses. Now, take the stick and throw it down. Okay. All right, God. What else? Tell Moses to grab it by the tail. Bruh. Yes. Never mind. Let me grab it. Okay. He said, "What's that in your hand? Huh? What's that in your hand?" So if God sends you, he equips you with the resources, she's saying here. All right? And she said, sends resources, avenues, and provisions that will be needed along the way. And we should never place ourselves in a position to force what does not fit. If the shoe don't fit, don't force it. That's before y'all's time. We should never have to fornicate with the devil to give birth to a promise from God. God promised me that child with you, my baby. Well, it's been 5,000 years. I still ain't pregnant. Okay, well, your girlfriend is fine. How about her? Okay, well, let's help God out. Ooh, to the weed. Thank you, baby. I love you. We'll be back. I'll be back sometime tonight. And he gone for about 6 weeks, and he ran off with the girl. I wonder how many pastors he's been talking derogatorily to who said nothing but now want to boycott. I know, Ison. Oh, I ain't never liked them no way. Walt Clark said, they the Goldblatts of Christian stations. He said they're the Goldblatts of Christian stations. Okay, all right, now, he messed me up. I hate when Walt Clark come over. I hate. Okay, now, let me help y'all out. What is this? The Black Enterprise have this wonderful thing called the nation's largest black-owned businesses in 2019. All right, they're saying here the BE 100s that comes out. Okay, the Black Enterprise, recognized as the most authoritative analysis and annual ranking of the top grossing large black-owned businesses in the United States for more than 45 years. I'm going to read off some of these, and you tell me if you ever heard of them, and most of you never heard of them, but yet they're multi-million-dollar corporations owned by who? Usins. Because let me tell y'all, even if it says black in the name, that don't mean we own it. Black Enterprise, Black Entertainment TV, BET, that ain't us. I already did that show where many of the from the black magazines to the black cable shows, to Motown, to you name it, okay, that ain't ours no more. We might have started it, but we don't own it. I'm not gonna say sell out, because I want to figure out from you if somebody offers you a few $1 million, look at the, what is his name, the rapper who became a billionaire overnight for selling the beats. What's his name? I mean, would you turn down $1 billion if a white company decided to buy you out? I don't know if I would turn it down. So I can't say that Motown was a sellout, because look what Motown did for us. I mean, from the 60s to the 70s, the 80s, I mean, it was almost 30, 40 years before they just finally, Barry Gordy decided, okay, here, I'm done with it. Dr. Dre, thank you. All right. So come on. I can't say they're sellout, but because black is in the name don't mean nothing. I will say this though, isn't it amazingly beautiful to know that when you turn on the Weather Channel, you hear a black man go, ka-ching? Who owns the Weather Channel, y'all? Oh, it's just so, I turn it on just for that. I don't even care about what the weather going to be tomorrow. I just turn on the Weather Channel just because I just smile when I look at it. I just look at it and smile. And I just say, a comedian owns the Weather Channel, African American. I don't listen to him anyway. All right, so here's the full list here. All right, y'all heard of these places? The Worldwide Technology. Look at that. 11 million in revenue. You ain't never even heard of them. And they number one. Look at these. You ever heard of these guys? Act One, Bridgewater, they're huge. Yeah, look at that. Coca-Cola Beverages, Florida. Okay, look at that. Black, Florida. Come on, y'all. This list right here, man, look at that. You ever heard of any of these? Now, yeah, I've heard of quite a few of these. Look at that. Black, Blickety black. Black did it, blick did it, blick did it, black. Look at that. Look, I'm black, y'all. I'm black, y'all. I'm blickety, 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 black, y'all. I'm back now. Look at that. These are folks. Why y'all not putting resumes in there? Look at that. Look at that. Man, come on. That's us. That's us. Byron Allen. Yeah, that's his name. That's us. Okay? Here's another one. Let's talk about media. Okay? Shall we? We're talking about the word network. Why isn't that we don't have a large African-American cable network where we can bring in these black preachers and pastors and evangelists and missionaries, blah, 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 and be on the same level? Since you got all the black folks working for you, why can't you come together with all of the money that you've given your churches to the white banks because you need to pay the mortgage on this church? Can you imagine how we could have came together? I look at Chicago. I get a little upset thinking about this. Well, we had a few black banks in Chicago, and they started closing down one by one, and then we were down to 2. All right, and then it was a short. Well, we had South Shore, that ain't no more. Then we had a Seaway Bank. Okay, that lasted for a long time, man. Your grandmama and granddaddy got money in there, and they got the lock box of all kind of pearls and gold and diamonds and all kind of stuff in there. And then they couldn't take it anymore. They couldn't take it. It was a black family that they just couldn't take it, and then they had to sell out to a Texas firm down in Texas. Okay, bought it out. So then we were down to 1 in the Bronzeville, and the one black bank that was getting ready to close, but 2 African brothers came down here and bought it and saved it. All right, and it's struggling. Oh man, I just one. How could you have that many black folk in Chicago with all them billions of dollars we bring in our churches, and we got 1 black struggling bank? Can't understand that to save my life. And so a pastor decided to come together and open up a black bank over there. Is it Forest Park? Okay, over there. The word, what's his name of that in the Forest Park? He tried to open a black bank, and he did. He successfully opened it up, and it didn't last that long because y'all wasn't supporting it. And then I think it was Clay Evans tried to start a black radio station here, and we not only are we segregated in Chicago, we segregated within ourselves, within the church. The city is segregated, and the church is spiritually segregated. It's just it's a shame. Then Bank of America and Chase are ripping us off. Yes. Smith, Bill Winston. Yeah, Bill Winston had a great idea, but it failed because you wanted it to fail. You wanted it to. It's a shame. It's a shame. It's a shame. Okay, Elder Walter Jones, you should start a radio station for Christians like 1390. I can't. Y'all won't come together. I've been begging y'all. I put my CashApp on there, and I might have got, I can't tell how much I got because then I had to report that to the IRS. Okay, I put that up there. Y'all won't support me. Or you won't support me. The world can always see the church's exploitation of its own people, even when the saints are in denial of it. How in the world can this woman's antenna, her discernment, be firing off warning shots through her brain? She talking about the woman on the Roland Martin show who's talking about these black preachers. She was like, don't worry about Adell, the white man, and his racism. Look at this preacher. That's what Amber Rogers is saying. How could the world, shots through her brain, but yet the body of Christ feels no pulse whatsoever? We continue to pay for blessings, put money in the hand of the prophet, and put $1,000 seed in the ground, and that panelist called them out for the foolishness and a call to introspection. And that's what that panelist and Roland Martin tried to keep them focused on Adell and racism. And the panelists like, no, the black preacher, he the problem. I was like, golly. Yeah, Walt Clark said, who gonna run it? You see what I'm saying? Exactly. Who gonna run it? That's why we got so many black churches. Who gonna run it? Everybody try to figure out who gonna run it. I'm a runner. No, I'm a runner. I'm the greatest because I can go. Yada, yada, yada. Yabba, dabba, do. Mama say, Mama sakusa. Oh, shoot, 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 ba-doo, shoot, shoot. Can you woo, woo, woo? Can you woo, woo, woo? Woo, 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 woo. Supercalifragilistic. Espialidocious. Anti-terrorism, San Francisco. I don't even read the rest of them. It didn't say Shondo at the end of it, and then it's tongues. It's legal to say that. The bottom line is let be real honest, okay? You forgot the S there, Justin, but I understand. Blacks don't support each other, yep. Then it's hard to deal with black folks, yep. Black folks is busy jacking each other off. Should I read that in silent? I had more bad experiences with black folks than I had with white. Yeah, I understand, Deloney. I get it. I do. Ooh, I do. Ooh. Antoine says Amber need to have several seats. And Amber says, I love you, Antoine. Oh, my God, today. It's a shame. No, because them niggas won't even pay for airtime. I hate it when Walt Clark, Amber Rogers, and who else? Antoine Ice come on the show. I don't know what to do after that. I lose focus. Okay, here is a firm. Here's a black firm. Where is it? Black-owned media companies. Which one do I want? Black Enterprise. I don't know if it was a national large. Wait, where am I? Print media. Media firm. I want the media. Burrell is another one. Burrell Communications. Y'all ever heard of Burrell? Anybody heard of Burrell Communications? Right here. Here, this brother right here. This is not Burrell, but this is HSH. Among the nation's largest black-owned business. Largest. Howard Stirk Holdings. Huge. Look at that. 35 million and rising. 35 million. Come on, y'all. Come on. Media. He can do something. But what y'all gonna do? Huh? Hey, Joy Harris, you about to pass out? I'm going. She's gonna go night night. All right. Listen, folks. This whole thing with the Word Network ain't even worth it. It ain't even worth my spit in a bucket. Can y'all? I need a bucket so I can spit. I ain't no bucket here. I can't spit. It's not manlike. Why is it could be ladylike but it can't be manlike? Y'all say gentlemanlike, but I'm a man. Okay. Why can't I be manlike? Y'all could be ladylike, but I can't be manlike. I think the problem is this. You've been taught to do and act a certain way. You're like, no, I wasn't. I wasn't taught that. Yes, you were. Because if you're in an environment where they keep showing you how they do it, yeah, they taught you. Yeah, they can teach you without words. Who's that? St. Francis of Assisi says, preach the gospel, but if need be, use words. Pretty much so. It's all about the action. So you come up in a family that have never taught you how to invest in your own. You understand? And I did that show where I talked about, maybe I didn't do the show, maybe it's time. I talked about how wealthy children, all right? The actress says no spitting, so my bad. Wealthy children, no matter how complacent and wild and dangerously they live as they get older, they stay wealthy. Okay? Y'all ever read the book The Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Kiyosaki, I think it is. What's his name? Anyway, one of them names. Okay? He said they can't be woman-like. All right? Antoine. So here's the thing. A rich kid he was born with a silver spoon. He gets older, he's a teenager, he becomes a grown man, leaves college, what have you, and he goes on his own, and he stays rich. And he don't even know why he continues to stay wealthy. He don't know why. He keeps spending money, and the money keeps coming back to him. and they don't know. They don't understand why this kid stay rich. They did a little psychological study on it, and they figured out why families who are come up under poverty breeds poverty, and wealth breeds wealth. It's spiritual and it's psychological. And the Bible is trying to teach us the same aspects of spiritual, walking after the Spirit, which will produce these things in the mind, the body, and the soul. You don't realize that. When you walk after the Spirit guides and leads you. It shows you all truths, okay? It teaches you things to do in your business. It teaches you how to eat healthy. It teaches you how to get up early in the morning. It teaches you how to work out. It teaches you how to pray. It teaches you how to fast. All these things. But because we don't walk after the Spirit, we walk after the flesh. So we're just like poor people. We're just like people who are impoverished, and we try to figure out why we're losing everything. So we're at church at the altar and asking the pastor to lay hands on us and pour oil on our head because our bodies are sick and we're filing for bankruptcy. I'm about to lose my house, my car, blah blah blah. Why? Because we're actually walking after the flesh. And then we've been saturated under a poverty-stricken type environment, whether it's in our neighborhoods, or whether it's in our families, or whether it's our friends. We have poor friends, and so we surround ourselves among poverty, thought-provoking people, all right? And then we try and invest, we try and save, and we try this and we try that, and it keeps failing. And it's psychological and it's spiritual. And you don't even know that that's what's happening to you. The wealthy kid has been around so much wealth and that the father and the mother keeps teaching them wealth, showing them wealth. Out of their mouths comes wealth. And they keep seeing them doing these things. And so it actually is breeding this unconsciousness in this kid. And he know to get up early. He know to turn off the TV. He know to invest. He know to do these things. And it becomes second language to him. It's a second language, if not a first language to him. He may be on drugs and alcohol and wine, women, and song, but he's still wealthy. But you on drugs, wine, women, and song, and you stay poor. He doing the same thing. You wonder why is it? I got the same job. I work for the same company. I understand. I just don't understand that. It's because it's the environment. It's the environment, and you don't even know it. Kiyosaki. What I said, Nakasaki? I don't know. I know we bombed one of them Sakis, or was it two? I don't know. There's a black-owned internet gospel station going out of business right now because black people won't pay and support, but they'll pay Moody double. That's on time. No questions asked. Yep. They'll pay them double and pay them on time because it's Moody. It's Moody. And I have some brothers and sisters over there on Moody, okay? All right. I've had Roy, Brother Roy. He had me to, he gave me a wonderful tour of the Moody broadcast, the station. He was the program director for their gospel praise section. And man, just proud to see blacks over there. We know that, who else is over there? I don't want to go, I don't want to do it because I got too many friends over there. I got too many friends over there. All right, but Walt Clark is correct. So what is the remedy here? Why are so many black businesses failing? And why are black individuals failing as well? We're failing each other. Number one, we're failing each other. Number two, we're failing ourselves. All right. So if this was earlier, I would do something here on why is it that we are failing. I have for instance, matter of fact, what time is it? Okay, 53 minutes in. Okay, all right. I didn't want to go long. I have a black business. I'm just using this as an example. I don't care what you're selling. You could be selling pills. You could be selling mouth sticks. I don't care what you could be selling. I don't know, phones from the 1800s. Okay, it don't matter. All right, whatever you selling. The problem I'm seeing with you who think you have a great product is that you don't know what niche marketing is. You don't know what it is. If someone like Bloomer and his cohorts on the Word Network came together and sat at the table, they could single-handedly start a business that could, over time, be the #1 rivalry for the word network. You've been there that long and you know the ins and outs and how it works. You got your, here's the thing. You have your audience watching the word network, especially if you've been there that long and you're the #1 show. Your audience, wherever you go, will follow you. You understand? When I went to that station on that AM station here in Chicago, my audience followed me. And I told him, you can't charge me that. Why? He said, why? I said, because my audience follows me over here. They would not regularly listen to this stuff over here that y'all playing, because my audience is younger than these old women that, okay? So my audience is coming over here. You can't charge me what you think. I'm not paying that. So he had to say, all right, I'll cut your deal. Yeah, you got to cut me a deal. And wherever I go, my audience will follow me. When they fired those guys off of Fox News, who was the couple guys, all right? Their audience followed them to mediocrity, okay? All right? Follow them to the podcast, follow them to their vlogging stations, and follow them to internet radio stations, where they follow them. So you build up your audience, black folks. It's niche marketing, and know who you are. I'm not going to set up a Popeye's chicken in a vegan neighborhood. That is the dumbest thing, and sometimes that's what we do. We're trying to sell products to the world, and it doesn't work that way. Everybody don't want your product. You got to sell it to the people who you think want and care, and you don't do the proper market research. So before I wrote my book, shameless plug, The 4 Women That Men Desire, I did a market research on what is it that, who's going to read this book. And I knew exactly, after I did my research, who was going to be my audience. And my audience is 95% or more women. That was my audience. So I knew that the way I wrote this book, I had to cater to that audience, because they would understand how I wrote it in there. And so when you go on Amazon.com, look at the comments. It's 99% women who are commenting. The men are not. The men are not the ones that buy my book. Now, several of them have, but most of them will not buy the book. No, it's not catered to them. You understand what I'm saying? Know your market. Niche marketing. Know who you're targeting. Walt Clark, that's it. All right? So, but the great question becomes why. Deloney says, we see and hear about blacks not supporting. About black folks having poor business styles as a whole. That's where I was going next. It's hard for the good black folks to be successful because of the poor business folks. Example, when I go to a McDonald's in Inglewood, it is totally different service from the McDonald's up north downtown. That's right, Justin Deloney. Now, and that's a great example here, because that's depending. It does not matter what chain it is, whether it's a McDonald's or whether it's a Popeye's chicken. And black people, and here's what I noticed. It's not so much about the blacks who work in that business. It's about the people who live in that neighborhood and who manages that store. Do you understand what I'm saying? Who manages that store has a lot to do with how the workers act. And then what neighborhood it's in has even more to do if that business or franchise is going to survive. You understand? So the Popeyes in Inglewood or Grand Crossing, there's a Popeyes here in Roseland, well, that would be Pullman maybe. I think that's Pullman area. That chicken, their biscuits are hard. Their chicken is smaller, and it sometimes is burnt. Okay, I don't have much meat on that chicken. So sometimes what I have to do, I have to travel all the way to Forest Park or Lansing, Illinois. There's a Popeyes in Lansing, Illinois, which is not far from me. And it is probably the best I've had, where the chicken is thick, it's juicy, and the biscuits taste like the original New Orleans biscuits. All right. And they have it where it's priced reasonable. They always have type specials, right? And the workers in there are extremely polite, extremely nice. No matter what you're saying to them, they're like, "I'm sorry, sir. We'll give you a free that." When you go to the Popeyes in Inglewood, it's a whole nother ball game. All right, so it has everything to do with the neighborhood it's in, because the Popeyes in Lansing, Illinois, the medium income in Lansing is $50,000-$60,000 and up. You understand what I'm saying? But the medium income in Inglewood, as we know, is way below that. So the food that's presented to you is mediocre. You can just send me the one in Lansing. Yeah, you need to go to the one in Lansing. There's only one that I know of in Lansing. It's right off of, off of the Bishop Ford. You keep going, and where it says Indiana, it said next stop Lansing. Get off there, and there it is. Popeyes is right there. All right. So the problem is you don't know anything about niche marketing. You promote to the people who desire your product. You can't just sell an item to everybody. It's not a one size fits all. Know your audience, number one. And number two, know your product. It's sad to walk into stores and the salesmen don't know the product more than you do. I remember when Walt Clark, you still here? Remember when the motif first came on the scene? It dropped in maybe 1999, 2000, or somewhere around there. Stevie Wonder was playing it on a TV show. I'll never forget it. And I saw him playing this thing. I said, "What is that?" It was a gray box, and I thought it was called motif. I said, "He playing a motif? What is that? I've never seen nothing like that." And it's pronounced motif. So I went to Guitar Center. You still hear Walt? I see you. I went to Guitar Center because I told my pastor at the time, Bishop Carlos Moody, I said, "Bishop," I said, I had a Roland XP50 at the time. Oh, just a beautiful keyboard, but it was time to upgrade. It was time to upgrade. Yes, Walt, Stevie played that thing on stage, and the sales exploded. Everybody had a motif, all right? So my pastor said, here's my pastor there. Because Bishop Carlos Moody, God rest his soul, he loved music, being a singer. His son, Carlos, wrote many of the hits from the Thompson Community Singers. Right after church, all right, my keyboard had all kind of gray and black. The cord was, everything was just falling off of it, and I would wrap the cord up in electric tape. You remember them days, Walt Clark? And I said, "Y'all, I need another keyboard. That thing is," I said, "but I'm going to keep on singing my song." And I was up on the microphone saying that, and Bishop Moody was sitting behind me. It was 2001, and I heard him say, "Go get it, son." So I'm like, "All right, I'm going to go get it." Now, I'm thinking he's saying, use your faith and your pocketbook, and you go get it. Claim it, son, and God may give it to you. I'm not sure. That's what I thought he meant. So I sat down. I was encouraged. I'm like, I ain't got no money for that motif. At that time, it cost about $1,500 for the new model, that little model, okay? And so after service, he said, "Come in, son." He pulled out the checkbook. He said, "How much is it now?" I said, "Oh, that's what you meant?" He said, "Yeah, how much is that thing?" I said, "I think it's about $1,500. All right. Who done make it out? You fill it out when you get there. That's what he did. And I went there, and I talked to the salesman. I said, "Hey, this motif, can you sample this thing?" And the guy was like, hold on. Yeah, it's beautiful, ain't it? I'm like, "Yeah, it's nice. Can you sample it for me?" He said, "Oh, hold on. There's an on button around here somewhere. Hey, Betty Lou, come here." As I wish over there, I hit the on button. Click. I said, oh, it's on now. He said, oh, thanks. All right, let's see. There's a window here where you can see, you can turn up the brightness. I said, I don't care about the brightness. Can you sample the keyboard for me? It has 88 keys. I said, no, that's not 88 keys. That's actually about 61 keys. Yeah. Then see 1, 2, 3, 4. I said, you don't have to count. You don't have to count the keys. I already know it's about 61 keys. Okay. It don't use a lot of power in your house to see if your power is with comment. I said, yes, sir, never mind. Is your manager here? Yeah. Betty Lou. Betty, get here quick. Man, and they still about that. Walklock said they still about that dumb. And Betty Lou says, what's going on? Yeah, he wants to know how this operates. And Betty Lou says, all right, you turn it on. I said, I already turned it on, Betty Lou. Oh, well, you see this window right here. I said, I already talked about the window. Oh, did he tell you about the comment at your house? Yes, he told me about that. Oh, well, that was Betty Lou. I said, forget it. I got this. Y'all go in and sell some drums. The little boy over there with a snot in his nose, and sell some drums to that guy right there. I can't even do this. Walt Clark just walked in. Walt Clark is here. Sell him some bongos. Walt, you play bongos, right? Betty Lou was on you over there. She coming. So I started playing the thing, and then I went in there and I just started messing with the thing, and I realized at Walt Clark that all keyboards that are digital operate the same. There's just a slight learning curve because of the design. That's the only thing that was different was the design. It had a learning curve because I had to try to find out where it is, but because I already had digital keyboards at home, it only took me 5 minutes to get around that thing, and I knew where to go. I knew. And so 2 weeks later, I went back, all right, to convince another friend who was the minister of music of a church to buy the board. I went back to that same one. And they said, may I help you? I said, yeah, I want to show my friend this motif. And so this guy came, another salesman came and says, yeah, this motif, this is nice. You feel it, right? You feel it. I said, no, I'm not trying to buy a car. I'm not kicking tires. We know how to play. We already know how to play. Take us through the buttons and all that stuff. Oh, yeah. I said, never mind. Joe, let me show you this. And I'm going through this. I'm taking them all through and the salesman, I kid you not, the salesman was like, oh, slow down. Slow down. So what did you do when you went over there? You did? Oh, okay. Whoa, slow down. What was that all about? What's that mean? That's that's transpose, but transpose. What transpose mean? I kid you not. And I said, I need to work here. And so there I was there for an hour, and I was selling motif boards. As people came in, the brother was like, you getting ready to leave? Don't leave yet. Don't leave yet. Hey, can you play some more? And the more I played, the more the people came by and said, well, what is that board? That's called a motif. And I'm playing, and I'm selling keyboards, Walt. I'm selling keyboards for Guitar Center because they ain't trained nobody over there. I said, y'all are using, y'all pimping me. They said, we'll give you a discount on that one. I already got one at home. And that's the way it is. So you got to know your product. And that's one of the big problems. So I don't want to go around the world back again, but I just want y'all to know what you're saying. Our hustle is not the same as the white man's. Everything we get. First of all, Amber Rogers, you was typing all that and you wasn't listening to me, was you? See, if you was typing all that, you wasn't listening to my spiel. My bit was going on and you was sitting there typing. You ever heard somebody there sitting there talking to you, and while they talking to you, you sitting there writing and playing stuff, you ain't listening to me. You trying to wait for me to shut up so you can go ahead and get your point. More Larry was all work that day. Okay, what Amber says. Everything we get is from our blood and sweat. Daddy. And left us no inheritance, and no blueprints. There are few mentors in a small opening in the system. Our idea of success is to wear it on our backs, and theirs is to wear it to their banks on their, wear it to the bank, she's saying. Until our self-worth comes up and we teach our children to kick down these hurdles and reprogram our thinking, we will continue to circle the drain. Wealthy is as wealthy does, and we do some stupid things. Did y'all understand that? I thought that was a brilliant line. That was a brilliant line. Somebody say brilliant. Somebody say brilliant. That was a brilliant line, Justin. Did you see what she said at the end? Yeah. You don't understand that whole wealthy is what wealthy does? It's from a movie. It's a very popular movie. Let's see. Yeah, it was great. It was great. That's a brilliant move. She says, "I love you, Walt." All right, okay. So y'all can boycott the Word Network until the cows come home. I don't even watch that mess anyway. Did I say that? I don't even watch it. Even when Kojic is on, I don't even watch it. I'll watch it on YouTube. I'll watch it on YouTube. I don't. It does nothing for me. Why? Because that is not. I am a niche to another. I am the audience to another show called The News. I watch the Bloomberg and the Nightly Business Report on PBS. I watch CNBC. I watch Fox Business News. Okay, I am the niche. Okay, I am the market. All right, for those. All right, and then I like to watch what wealthy people watch. Why? Because I realize that it is something that you need to. It's like it's an acquired taste. There's certain dishes that you keep doing it, it becomes acquired. All right. So finance should be, if you don't like it now or you don't understand it now, get to know it. I didn't say fall in love with it, because you know what the love of money does, but at least fall in love with the process so that you can educate your children on how to continue generational wealth. All right, I'm done. Any questions? Class? Class, did you get anything out of that? So those of you who came and didn't know what was going on, now you know. There's a boycott that they call it. It's not going to work. Why? It's like that radio station here in Chicago. That age from 45 on up, when Bloomer has gone off, they're going to introduce someone else in that spot, and that audience will still be there. Just deal with it. Meanwhile, pull your resources together and let's help each other out. That's gonna be difficult too. So why don't we just move to Mars? I gotta go. We've been tired and it feels like it's been going on for years. Oh, don't you never let go. Don't let go. Don't let go. Oh, don't you ever let go. Walt Clark, hey, what's your radio station? What's the station that you air on? What's the name of that station? What is it called? It's got a thingy. I see the sign. Can't you see the sign of the judgment? Can't you see the sign? What's the name of that station, son? And he also have these wonderful little bracelets that he sell. I think Tamara, are you here? Are you still here, Tamara Lloyd? He's got these bracelets that he got. It's got musical signs on it. The clef, the bass clef, the treble clef on it. I'm not sure why I don't have any right now. Hint, hint, that I can promote. Yeah, Street City Gospel Radio. So, yo, hey, Walt, what day you come on? What day you come on? Y'all know me. I love to promote folks. I love to promote the people who doing stuff. All right, I don't promote lazy folks. But he got these bracelets, this nice little brooch, whatever you call them things, okay, with the treble and the bass clef on it. And if I had one, I can show you, but I don't have one. That'd be nice. Yeah, wrist poppers, he call them. They're in the comments below. If you're on Facebook, matter of fact, if you're on YouTube, I'm going to show it to you in the picture here. I'll be on Wednesdays at 11 a.m. So those of you, I don't air at 11 a.m. so you don't have to worry about competing with the Sirwalterj show and Walt Clark show. So 11 a.m. Central Standard Time, you could go to Steel City Gospel Radio. Steel City Gospel Radio. STEEL. Steel City Gospel Radio, Wednesday at 11 a.m. Yeah, he said he got the hint because it's all bare bones. Them bones are bare. All right, let me show y'all his product here. It's a gift. It's a GIF, not a gift. Okay, there it is right there. It's called wrist poppers. Y'all see that? Get the focus. Focus your eyes in. There it is. Wrist poppers. I was trying to play the thing, but I don't know what's going on. Anyway, that's what's going on there. Okay. Really nice, and they would make a nice gift for your musician at the church, or your husband, wife, girlfriend, or main squeeze, or somebody. Okay, I don't have any yet, so I'm hoping in a few days something's gonna come to my house. Okay, but that is okay. Yeah, here is the radio station here. All right, we got to support each other, y'all. We have to do this right here. That's what it looks like. Steel City Gospel Radio. Okay, I think Walt Clark is one of the best I've heard, and vintage, real gospel. He plays a variety, and you'll get hooked if you turn it on. Just know you will get hooked. Pastor Wilson ordered 7 of them. Okay, I gotta go, y'all. Hey, Alexa, say good night to Walt Clark.
Good night. Sleep tight.
All right, don't let the bed bugs bite. All right, go on Amazon.com and download the book if you want to, or just get the hard copy, and I'll sign it. If you ship it to me, I'll sign it because I ain't got no more books here, and I'll ship it back to you. No problem. You just send it to me, and I'll ship it to you signed, sealed, delivered. I'm yours. Signed, sealed, delivered. I'm yours. All right. Good night, y'all. Gotta go. Hit the share button. If you're on YouTube, go ahead. Bing. Hit the bell. Remember the bell? You get all my notifications if you hit the bell. You'll be like, I didn't see that show because you didn't hit the bell. It notifies you when I go live. Bye-bye.